Hey there, my name is Shane Craddock, and this is the Inner Edge podcast, where I share a different take on how to lead and live a sustainable, high-performance life. Over the course of different episodes, I'm going to challenge the belief that tension, stress, and struggle are essential to success and creativity. My experience is that there's an easier way, there's a better way, and indeed there's an essential way that we need to explore for the times that we live in. So let's go ahead, let's jump in and explore. Hi there, welcome to today's episode. I hope all is well in your world. There's kind of a holiday theme to this particular episode. My son Sam, who is just 12, just finishing 5th class in Ireland, going into 6th class, which is the last year of, I suppose, the junior school, and then before he goes into secondary school or high school. And it was Thursday, he got off and he came home and he was delighted with himself. And I was saying, oh, you must be looking forward to the holidays. He was saying, yeah, I love this feeling. And it reminded me of the feeling myself as a child or even as a teenager, just when summer holidays came and the first day getting out of school and just that lovely feeling of, just holidays are here and everything that meant. And I suppose today I want to talk a little bit about that holiday feeling and keeping it outside of holidays. Because in my experience, your best ideas, your money-making ideas in business, your best ideas for change, for transformation, for even raising your game, raising your performance, they come when you have that holiday feeling. But here's the question, why don't we have the holiday feeling more of the time? Why do you have to wait for holidays? So in a recent program that I ran, there's a new program called Sustainable High Performance, 3-day kind of intensive program. One of the questions that I asked the attendees was, why can't you have that holiday feeling all of the time? Now that was about, when I'm recording this today, I don't know, maybe that's 4 or 5 weeks ago. But I was talking to one person during the week who attended the program, and they were telling me that they maintained it, and you can see it in them. It's not BS. And this person, you might be surprised that they would have multiple businesses and multiple things going on within those businesses. And each of the businesses at different stages of life cycle. So there's plenty going on in the world as well as having a family. Yet they're saying to me, actually, I think I'm starting to figure out how to have that kind of holiday feeling even when I'm not on holidays. Now, I suppose a few stories come to mind that I'm going to share. One is, I remember being a young executive in a multinational. It's gone back quite a while now, maybe 20 years, 21 years, maybe even more. Actually, it was about 24, 25 years. But I remember them saying to me, and I don't know why at the time, this just really, really struck me. But they were saying that this person was big into the electronic side and coding and bringing in software into the company where I was working at the time, manufacturing. And they told me that the best code that they ever wrote was when they were on holidays beside the pool. I said, what do you mean? So I was just sitting by the pool and I was a very complex problem trying to solve in terms of coding within the business in the weeks leading up to my holidays. But I'm sitting beside the pool, having a beer, and all of a sudden, he said, out of nowhere, all this code just came streaming into my mind. I thought, oh my God, that's the answer. So he said, I just didn't wait. I just got my laptop, brought it down to the pool, and I just sat there and I coded away. And I said, oh, did it bother you doing work by the pool? And I thought this was great. He said, no, you don't understand. He said, the joy in what was coming through me was so immense that there was nothing to do with work or holidays. It was just fun. And I think that's really interesting because, what is it about that time, if we're on holidays, that I see this time and time with clients in particular. And I would say, like, holidays, if you go on holidays and do it the right way, it makes you money. Why? Because your best ideas come to you when you start to relax. But what is relaxing? It's relaxing away from the patterns of thinking that we probably have when we're in work or whatever we're doing in our day-to-day lives. It's that thinking that almost the overactivity of the conscious mind, which blocks the power of the unconscious mind, or even if you want to call it the superconscious mind, which is where those ideas come from. And maybe, just maybe, we've conditioned ourselves to associate the feeling, like that feeling of being on holidays with only being on holidays. What if it was possible to have that feeling more and more in your normal day to day, so that even when you get to go on holidays, you actually unwind quicker? I mean, actually, it's funny, a story's come to mind of a client who, I was working with them for a few years, and they had this particular dream holiday that they wanted to do with the family. So they had organized it and everything else, but they absolutely worked their ass off over the course of the previous months. I mean, to an insane level, and unnecessarily so. But as a result, they kind of got on the plane to go with the family to this dream holiday that they'd spent a lot of time and money and everything else organizing, but they were exhausted. So they spent literally the entire holiday in bad form because they were just wiped out. And even the full length of the holiday, which I think might have been 2.5, 3 weeks, they still hadn't wound down. And they came back knowing that they had kind of wasted the holiday, which put them in worse form, which you can understand. But what if it's possible, instead of actually burning at both ends, which seems to be the culture, I think, in business, in particular in the Western world, that we kind of burn it, and then take our holidays and then try to recharge and everything else. I think that model is done. It doesn't work. And it just doesn't work. It's not, there's a better way. So I think a clue around it is to kind of maintain that holiday feeling for you more often, even while you're working. Now, is it easy? Maybe not. But is it possible? Yes. But you have to think about, what that holiday feeling is. And to me, it's really a break from the thinking that's bothering you to do with the problems that you have. So I think it's an inner challenge. And this is the opportunity about maybe looking at the way that you pay attention, like what kind of thinking are you doing? So it's funny, I suppose I remember my counselor, this is going back 25 years, Morris, that I've mentioned before in previous episodes. He always said to me, try and take 3 weeks off if you're doing holidays, which isn't always possible for people. And I said, why? He said, well, the first week, most people are just winding down. Second week, they're actually kind of get into the relaxed mode. And he said, for most people, 2 weeks is kind of the traditional thing. And then, it's just the thought of, just as you're starting to really get into that relaxed zone, you got to go back to work, which stresses you out. This is most people. He said, if you can take that third week, he said, what you're going to find is you're going to be in the flow, because you're kind of gone, like you literally detach completely almost from the thoughts. And as I've gone on in my career, I thought, okay, that's pretty cool. And I've done that a couple of times, and it's true. But over the last, 6, 7 years, what I've also seen is that I can come into my holidays in a much more relaxed frame of mind, so that essentially that third week can happen in the first week. Does it always happen? No, but it's definitely possible. So what about you? Can you remember that holiday feeling outside of going on holidays? I mean, I'm thinking about my holidays. I'm going on holidays in a week's time. So that's maybe why this theme has come in now. And we're taking 2 weeks out and we're looking forward to it. But I don't feel there's a huge amount of winding down to do, but there will be some. But what about the holiday feeling? Can you bring it in now, even outside of going on holidays? Because I think as a human, one of our superpowers compared to other species is that we have the ability to bring in and amplify emotions. But that starts with becoming more conscious of what we're thinking and choosing the right thought to amplify. But, what if we are built to have the feeling of that kind of holiday feeling most of the time, that we don't have to wait for 1 or 2 times a year or whatever it is? And actually in Irish, in the Irish language, the word for holidays is na leithinta sira, but the literal translation of that is free days, which is actually pretty cool. I think it's like, free days. And that's kind of a carefreeness. And believe it or not, I know you might be listening to this thinking, what is your man on? And what's he talking about? The holiday feeling during my work day, my work week. He doesn't know what it's like, but he doesn't know what my life is like. Fair enough. But, while there might be an intensity and everything else, I still think it is possible to have pockets, even small pockets of your day to start with, where you can just let go and bring in that holiday feeling, because you have an imagination, you have a memory, You can choose even to focus on the memory of your holiday to bring in that relaxed feeling, like my colleague by the pool. I mean, how cool would it be to kind of get those breakthrough insights, what I could call mind shifts, more regularly during the day? And it's all to do with an inner edge. It's all to do with the inner approach. And again, like, what if that holiday feeling was is our natural default state? But we just need to let our thinking get out of the way. We just need to get ourselves out of the way of thinking that kind of stuff, the stuff that kind of maybe takes us out of the state. So that holiday feeling, it is a state of mind, but because it's a state of mind, it means that it's possible to bring it in anytime. And that even means today. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Food for thought. Bye-bye.